What's up, Wallet Monkeys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to cover and highlight somebody else's app spree from the Wallet Monkey community. Shout out to Ghostreapers. Congratulations, my friend. He just added on $63,000 to his total credit limit, TCL. Now, if this isn't a advertisement for the Discord and for the community, I don't really know what is. Yeah, I want to go through this with you one at a time here. So, the thing that you'll notice is like when you first get into credit, you really have no clue, right? Like if you're like me, and I would say you come from like a middle-class American home where you're not really taught what to do with credit, how it works, why it's a benefit, and how to use it as a tool versus a weapon, right? You tend to go out and make really, really bad choices. And then you kind of think like, oh, well, this is optional to pay. Like I don't really have to pay this. This is what I did anyways. So I just let things default. Like if I wanted to pay this month, I would. If not, oh well, didn't care. Like I had no clue that this was like showing up as late payments on my credit report, had no clue that this was actually negatively affecting my credit. And then eventually I went and did bankruptcy. So that was my timeline with getting into credit. And then when I was rebuilding it, I was taking things really slow and probably took way more time than I needed to. So those are the two common themes is when people first get it, they tend to abuse it. And then when they have to rebuild it, it tends to go really, really slow. Shout out to this video sponsor, us. Yes, that's right. We recently launched our credit mastermind. If you want to get your first 100K in credit or your next 100K in credit, this might be the way that you can level up, right? So this is a dedicated group where that is our sole intention for the next 12 months. After that, it is all about getting new streams of revenue established. So figuring out how to get cash off those cards, turn that cash into streams of revenue, more money, and essentially collecting and acquiring assets, right? So if this is something that you want to do, this is where you want to take the game next, this might be something that you're interested in. Link right here or down in the description below. Again, that's the Credit Mastermind. Now, let's get back to the video. It's amazing to get to this point. Let me just say that. Most people, I know people 60s, 70s, 80s, they are not to this point. They cannot just go out and get $63,000 in fresh new credit. They are not in position to do this. Anyway, let's dive in. We've covered pieces of this in separate videos. He was the example that we showed in the American Express business credit card for $10,000 and the Chase Amazon Prime for $15,100. Those were both his. So if you remember data points to back then, he was 822 on one of them and I think low 8s on the other. So he's well over 800 credit score, which is great, not necessary. Okay, and we're gonna show screenshots in just a second too. So it went, I think it went, if I'm remembering correctly, it went Chase, then I think there was a US bank in there, then it went Amazon, then I know for a fact Citi was the very last one. And so we're gonna talk more about this in just a second. So it went 10,000 on a custom cash Citibank card, which is great because they're still running subs right now. So he's gonna get a couple $100 in subs as long as he hits the thresholds, which I assume he will. And then he got 10,000 on an Amex business, which also had sign-up bonuses. Altogether, he got $325 in Amazon gift cards, sign-up bonuses, etc., cash back, right? He had $15,100 on the Chase Amazon Prime. That was a personal card. $20,000 on a Navy Fed More Rewards, which this is his second card. He actually has the flagship, and it's at $15,100, I think, is the credit limit on that. And he's due for a credit limit increase like any day. I think it was the 6th or the 8th. So I think he's just kind of waiting to pull the trigger on that. So he'll probably get he's going to request for $8,000, which is the most you can request right now on a Navy Fed credit limit increase, and I'm sure he'll get it. And so he's close. He's like on his way to that 80K, man. He'll be well over half if he gets that 8K. Okay, then he got 2,000 US Bank Kroger card, which is actually really good. The Kroger card is a co-brand, but to get a US Bank card over $500, over $1,000 is actually really good. Most people don't realize that. They tend to be very conservative and start you off very small limit-wise. So that's why it's good to actually get in with a relationship and start to build some data points with US Bank first. You know, throw 200, 500 into a checking account and then kind of let that marinate and season up a bit. Okay, $4,000 credit limit increase, his MyCare credit card, $2,000 credit limit increase on his Verizon credit card, and $200 credit limit increase on his PayPal MasterCard. So pretty good overall, right? Let's look at, and I already covered the $325 on top of, I think it's $200 for custom cash. So he's got, you know, another 500 plus coming back in bonuses just from this. So it gets even sweeter, right? Okay, so let's go through these now. I'm sure you saw this one before. This is the 10,000 full limit, initial credit limit. He had 2,500 because he hadn't gotten the card yet. This is the Business Prime. Amazing card, amazing, amazing card, right? Not just for using on Amazon, but for Whole Foods as well if you shop there. Great card. Okay, here is the custom cash, 10,500, 26.74% APR, a little high, but he could probably get that down to around 20 with usage. Citibank is great because they will soft pull your credit various points, right? And if you drop a lot, they're gonna cut your limits. They don't even need to ask you, right? They're just gonna let you know that they're cutting your limit. So if you get a big dramatic score decrease, 50, 100 points, they're gonna cut your limits, just know that. But that being said, as soon as your score bumps back up, they'll be the first ones to just automatically start giving you CLIs without you having to ask. I've seen it go both ways time and time again. So you can't really be too upset with them because it's not like you get sandboxed or something. They don't care either way, but they're definitely going to hedge and protect themselves to the downside. If your score drops, 50, 100 points, I mean, can't really blame them for doing that, right? But great card to have, really, really good card. And I love their app and their login and everything to pay your bill and manage your account. It's busy back there, but it is very user-friendly and very easy. It's similar to, I think probably by far the best is Discover. Discover has the best app, but it's close. Okay, here is that more rewards. You see it right here, 20,800, 15.99%. Killer APR, absolute killer APR. And once you start to pair this with some of the other tricks that you can do with the prepaid debit cards, which we've talked about in a previous video, you can actually start to get cash off this card. And here we go. Now we're off to the races. Lastly, oh yeah, this is the last one here is, this is the Prime Chase card. And so again, while waiting on the card, you had an initial limit of 5,000 based off the 10,000, right? And I think I got one more thing I wanted to show. Oh yeah, so this is, obviously I was chatting with him back and forth and, having a conversation through all of the, through the app spree, and this stood out to me, right? So I asked him, was this the biggest or most successful app spree you've ever had? He said, yes. Before this, there was only 2 Amex and Discover apps at one time at the beginning of my credit journey. I never did that again. I would usually space apps out a lot more. I was trying to get, the coveted credit scores, like 720, 730, 750, 770, 800s, 820 or higher. But Q and others in the Wallet Monkey community gave me enthusiasm to push harder for my goals. These videos are dope. With very good intel. Again, it's not like, guys, you really gotta get some perspective on this. All the stuff that we provide on the website, nobody else provides that stuff in such a consolidated form, okay? We could be charging money for that. We could be doing all kinds of silly stuff to make that harder, add barriers of entry so we could personally profit. We don't do that, okay? All that's given away for free. All the videos on the channel where we deep dive and try and consolidate as much data as possible because that's what we would want. And so understand that this channel and the data on it has everything you already need to go out and be successful, to go out and get hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit. The issue and the thing that's stopping you is you. I gotta tell you that. So it's all there ready for you. If you want to push, if you want help, join the Discord. It's $9 a month. Guys, come on, man. You're paying way more for that for dumber stuff right now. So if you want personalized help, if you want accountability, jump into the Discord. It's amazing. And there's a couple hundred people there ready, willing to help you at all times of the day, okay? And then if you want something above and beyond that, well, then, and you want to take it to the next level, then you want to look at the Credit Mastermind, which there'll be a link in the description as well. That is a lot more money, but you get to work with me one-on-one, and you get access to information and training and courses that I'm not releasing publicly. Stuff about banks and getting into banks that we're not talking about publicly, right? It's stuff that should not be shared in videos, should not be shared even in the couple hundred people community that we've got. So if you want super exclusive stuff like that to really take it to the next level, then you would want to join that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya. Hey, you should subscribe. 60% of you are not subscribed yet, right there. Okay, bye.
Wild monkey.